Hi, this is going to be a note on personal development. Whether you are leading people or you are just leading yourself or your family, you are interested in becoming a leader. And this world moves because of the leaders that inspire other people to achieve greatness. So how do you become a really good leader? Because there is good and bad leaders, and there is also mediocre leaders. So how do you really become a good leader? The secret to becoming a good leader is personal development. Regardless of how much you want to change your company culture, it's going to be nearly impossible if you don't grow yourself first. So then the question is, how do you grow yourself? And remember, I'm talking about personal development, not professional development. This has nothing to do with your skill sets on innovation, on whatever it is that your business is doing. This has to do 100% with your own self. You are a reflection of what you are inside. So the only way to create an amazing culture is to start with the leader. I have talked about already that the head dictates the direction of the entire body. So you as a leader have to be grown personally before other people can follow. Make sense? And the steps are actually really simple. They are simple, but they're not easy. It's different. It takes a long time. Actually, personal development for me is something that I'm going to do until the day that I die. But you start growing when you start focusing on yourself, on growing yourself. So then you may ask, how do I do that? How do I grow myself? Well, if you look back, when I realized that I was a horrible leader, when I realized that all my pains, all my problems was because of me, what did I do? I actually took an entire year off. I was only working 1 day a week instead of working 12 hours a day because I was focused 100% on myself. Once I realized that the problem was me, now I could take action. I could look for ways, and I didn't know where to start. So by my creators, by God's blessings, I was guided through personal development just like that. So the first thing that I did is I started an exercise program. Why? Because when you are changing your physiology, when you're starting to move your body, your emotions start to change. You cannot be a good leader if you don't know how to manage your emotions. And how can you manage your emotions, you may say? Well, by changing your physiology. If you go, for example, if you go throughout the day and you're like this, and your tone is down and you're low energy, you're not going to inspire anybody. What about if you take your chest out and you feel like something is pulling you towards heaven, and you're always like this, not in an arrogant way, but in a way that you know that you can do whatever it is that you need to do. Just by changing your physiology, your emotions changes because your body is connected to your brain, and your brain generates hormones that makes you feel happy, sad, angry, in love. But your body is the one that sends the signals to your brain on what emotions to produce. When you get scared, for example, what happens? You're like, oh, and adrenaline shows up. But what happens first? The reaction comes first through your body, sends signals to your brain, and your brain releases adrenaline so that you start trying to defend yourself. So in the same way, you achieve happiness by changing your body. You achieve confidence by standing up. The way that you dress. I'm not telling you about wearing fancy clothes. I'm just telling you, wear something that you feel successful with. Look, I always wear a V-neck and blue jeans, but it makes me feel successful because it makes me feel that I earned this clothing. So I'm always with my shoulders back, my chest showing up. Opening your chest cavity sends the right signals to your brain of confidence. And if you want to have a confident team, the leader, have to be confident. All right, so the first thing that I did to start my personal development is changing my physiology. I joined a gym. I just started walking. I was overweight, but I just started walking and started listening to other people that had what I wanted to get. It's so simple. It's called mentoring. And you don't have to spend a dime on it. All these beautiful people that do podcasts, people that are successful and write books, and you can get a book for $8, for $20, for $30, and it changes your life. And then you can get the book summaries for free on YouTube. There is people that actually summarizes the book. So even you don't have $20 to buy a book, you can get the summary on YouTube. So while I was walking, while I was starting to change my physiology, I started listening to people that had what I wanted to have, what I wanted to get. So I started listening to Richard Branson. I started listening to Tony Hsieh. I started listening to Tony Robbins. I started listening on the spiritual side to Joel Austin. I started listening to Andy Stanley. Um, a lot of people, like the people that changed me, didn't know me. And the beautiful part is that after all these 7, 8 years of personal development, I'm beginning to know those people. Now I know Tony Robbins personally. I am part of his elite group, and once in a while we get to hug and say hello to each other. How beautiful is that? And everything comes from your intention to become a better person. That's the only way you can become a good leader, and that's the only way you can get a good culture. So the key element of personal development comes down, the 80-20 rule, that 20% is your daily habits. So for that first year for me, when I really took on personal development, I was working out 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day. While I was working out, I was listening to material from successful people, and that started to make a transformation in my life. Obviously, you will not see it overnight. It takes time. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still looking for mentors. I still have 4 or 5 mentors in my life. But your daily habits is what makes you. You are the sum of the accumulation of your daily activities for a long period of time. That's what makes you or breaks you. Now, the thing is that you have habits. Whether you want it or not, you're going to have good or bad habits. So you have to be conscious to develop very good daily habits that eventually will create a breakthrough. That's how you do it. First, you have the determination to do it. Then you have to change your physiology, go for a walk, get into an exercise program. Then start learning from the people that have the knowledge that you need. And you have to do that on a daily basis. So now if you look at myself, my daily habits are improving every day, but they are pretty consistent. I guarantee it. You start changing your personal development, you start learning from mentors, you change what you do on a daily basis, and what you do in private, God will reward it in public. Thank you so much for listening.